Welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be making this beautiful trending short gown with a basque waistline and gathers at the hem. If this sounds like something you're interested in, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video to your family and friends. So here, this is the one I recreated. As you can see, I used two different fabric. You can decide to make your own one fabric. These are all the measurements you need to take for this tutorial. So the total for the both fabric is 4 yards. If your hip is more than 40 inches, you are going to be needing more than 4 yards. This fabric is a very light fabric, so I will not be drafting on the fabric, I will be drafting on my pattern paper. So here, this is the pattern paper. I'm just using my paper tape to seal it so it will not be moving here and there. The first thing I'm doing here is I'm marking a straight line. This line is going to be the shoulder line and is where we are going to be starting all our measurements. So from that point here, from the side of the paper, I'm going to mark my neck width. I'm using 2.5. If your bust is more than 36 inches, you can use 3 inches. From the shoulder line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. This 1 inch is for the neck depth for the back. We are cutting the back and the front together. So I'm going to connect the both points. I'm going to connect them together like this. After that, I'm going to come back to the first line. I'm going to mark my neck depth for the front. From that line now, I'm going to come down by 7 inches. I initially marked 6 inches here, but I later increase it to 7 inches. After that, I'm going to connect the neck depth to meet the neck width. And this time around, we are using V neckline for the front. Just make sure your V is not very sharp. Here, this is what we have. So this shorter one is the back neckline, while the longer one is the front neckline. So after this, I'm going to come back to this point here and I'm going to mark my shoulder divided by 2 plus extra half inch. This half inch is to join the sleeve to the main fabric. So from that point now, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. This is for the shoulder slope. After that, I'm going to connect these 2 points, the shoulder slope. I'm going to connect it to meet the neck width like this. So from the shoulder slope, I'm going to mark my chest line. I'm going to leave the formula to calculate your chest line. I'm going to leave it on the screen for you to see. So I already marked my chest line is from the armhole, I marked 7.5. So this new line is going to be the chest line. The next thing to do now is to mark our armhole. So I'm going to come to the shoulder line. I'm going to check what I have there. I have 8 inches. I'm going to take that 8 inches. I'm going to mark it on the chest line. After that, I'll connect the 2 points. I'm going to connect the slope. I'm going to connect it to meet the chest line into a straight line like this. After that, you're going to come to the chest line and you're going to mark your bust divided by 4. The bust I'm working with is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give me 9 inches. So I'm going to mark 9 inches. After you are done marking it, you will come to the armhole line here and you are going to divide whatever you have there. Divide it by 2. I have 7.5 there. So if I divide the 7.5, I will have 3.75. So from that point now, I'm going to come in by half inch. Then I'm going to connect all these 3 points. I'm going to connect them together. So this armhole now is going to be the front armhole. Then from this point, you are going to connect it to meet the chest line. And this line is going to be the armhole for the back. This is the back and this is the front armhole. The next thing to do now is to mark the shoulder to the waistline. So all this new line that you want to mark now, you are going to start from the shoulder line. The only line you need to mark from the shoulder slope is your chest line. So now the shoulder to the waistline I'm working with is 15 inches. I'm going to connect it to have a straight line. After that, I'm going to mark my shoulder to the hip line. If you don't remember to take your shoulder to the hip line, from the waistline, you can come down by 9 inches. but mine is 24 inches, so I've marked it there. I'm going to connect it to have a straight line also. This is the waistline and this is the hip line. The next thing to do now is to mark the round measurement. So I'll come to the chest line. I already mark my chest divided by 4. This is it here. So I'm going to add extra 1.5 inch for seam allowance. So I'm going to mark it there. After that, I'll come to the waistline. I'm going to divide the waist by 4. The waist I'm working with is 30, divided by 4 is 7.5. So after marking the 7.5, I'm going to add extra 1.5 inch to it for seam allowance. I'll come to the hip line. I will mark the hip divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch also. After that, I'm going to connect all these points. I'll connect them together. Once now we need to mark the Basque line. So from this side, the actual measurement, I'm going to go up by 5 inch. Then I'm going to connect the 5 inch. I'm going to connect it to meet that point like this. After that, I'm going to connect this point, just connect it into a straight line. After that, I will add half inch for the joining of the down part at the hemline. You come to the shoulder line, you are going to add half inch for joining the both shoulders. After that, I'm going to cut it out. I'll be cutting out the armhole and the neckline for the back first. After I'm done cutting it out, this is what I have at this point. It's time to cut it out on the main fabric. So I'm going to take my fabric now and I'm going to fold it into two. I already fold the fabric into two. So I'm going to place the pattern on it like this. And at the center front, I'm going to add 1 inch. This 1 inch is for the zipper allowance. So make sure you add your zipper allowance when you are cutting the back. After that, I'm going to pin the pattern and the main fabric. I'll pin it together and I'm going to trace it out like this. When you're done cutting it out, this is what you should have at this point. So I'm going to open up the folded parts. I'm going to open it up. We need to have two pieces for the back. So make sure you notch the zipper allowance that you added. Notch that point so you will know where to sew when you want to join your zipper. After that, I'm going to remove the pattern and this is what we have. As you can see, we have two pieces for the back. Now it's time to cut out the front. So I'm going to take the fabric again and fold it into two. This time around, the front is not going to be having any zipper allowance. So you are going to make sure the folded parts align with the center front on the paper. So you are going to place it like this. So before that, you need to cut out the neckline for the front and you are going to cut out the armhole as well. So you cut out the neckline and you cut out the armhole. After you are done arranging it, you are going to cut it out. So here, this is what we have for the front. So if you open it up, this is what we have for the front. As you can see, we have one piece for the front. So the difference is the zipper at the back. So the next thing to do now is to join the front and the back to join it together. So you are going to place the right side of the front and the right side of the back. You are going to place it on each other like this. You are going to align the shoulder line. Make sure you align it like this. After that, you are going to take it to your sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it by half inch you added when we are cutting. This is what we have after I am done joining the both shoulders. This is what we have. So this is what I have at the right side. The next thing to do now is to cut out the sleeve, and to do that I'm going to measure what I have at the armhole. We are going to take the armhole measurement, you are going to take it round like this. So here I have 19 inches. I'm going to cut out the sleeve. I will use pattern to cut it out as well. So the first thing I'm doing here is I will mark a straight line. So this line is now going to be our guide. So from that point, I'm going to mark my sleeve length. The sleeve length I want to use is 24 inches, but because I want to put a band on the hem of the sleeve, so I'll be removing 1.5 from the 24 inches. So if I remove 1.5 from 24 inches, I'm going to have 22.5. Be adding 1 inch. This 1 inch is to join the band and the sleeve to the main fabric. So I'll be marking 23.5. Connect it to have a straight line also. Now come to the first line. From this line, you are going to come down by 6 inches. I'm marking 6 inches because I want to have a puff at the sleeve side. So if you don't want to have a puff, you can just come down by 3 to 4 inches. So I'm going to connect it to have a straight line also. The next thing to do now is to mark my sleeve curve. I'll be using a free hand. Just look closely what I'm doing here. This is how you are going to mark your sleeve curve. So now you are going to take what you have, check what you have on the armhole curve. So you are going to check it. Remember, the armhole we measured earlier is 18 inches and is folded into two. So it means I have 9 inches. So I already marked the 9 inches there. So I'm going to add extra 3 inches. This 3 inches is what I'll be pleating on the sleeve part, the paw for the sleeve. So after that, I'm going to come back to this point and I'm going to measure what I have on my wrist. This point here, you are going to take the measurement you have here. So I have 8 inches here. I'm going to multiply the 8 inches by 2, making 16 inches. So since the sleeve is folded into two, I'll be marking 8 inches. Then I'm going to take the 2 points and you are going to connect it. If you want to have a big sleeve, just take whatever measurement you have at this point and you are going to place it here. So this is how you are going to mark your sleeve. After that, I'm going to cut it out into two. Remember, the sleeve is two, one for the right side and the other for the left. After that, I'm going to cut it out. This is what I have after I am done cutting it out. So I'm going to cut it out on the main fabric. Take your fabric and folded it into two. Then you are going to place the pattern on it. The pattern that we are using, you are going to place it on it. When you are placing it, make sure the folded part aligns. After that, you are going to cut it out. After you are done cutting it out, this is what you are going to have for the sleeve. So if you open it up, this is what you are going to have. Now I'm going to fold it back and use it to cut out the second sleeve. After I am done cutting out the both sleeves, so I'm going to put it together like this and notch the center of it. Make sure you notch the center of the sleeve before you open it up. So this is the two sleeve. The next thing to do now is to attach the sleeve to the main fabric. So now I already opened the armhole that we are going to attach the sleeve. So here that I'm touching, this is the joining on the shoulder line. So that point is where you are going to be placing the notch. After matching it together, you are going to pin it down. You are going to pin the two together. So you are going to look for the end of the sleeve and you are going to match it with the end of the armhole on the main fabric. So you are going to pin it. So you are going to pin it and you are going to pin it around. So after pinning it, as you can see, you are going to have excess at the center. So you come to this other side as well. You are going to pin it. You are going to pin it down till you get to the center of the. After you are done pinning it down, as you can see, you are going to have excess at the center. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pleat this center. I'm going to pleat the excess I have on the sleeve to the center of the fabric. So you are going to pleat it like this. Make sure it's at the center. So I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it round and do the same thing for this other sleeve. So after I am done joining the sleeve to the armhole, this is what you are going to have. As you can see the pleats there. So this is what we have. This is the first one and this is the second sleeve. So as you can see the pleat, this is not a must. It depends on what you want. So this is what we have now. So this is the two sleeve. The next thing to do now is to fold the front and the back together to go ahead to go and join this side. After folding the front and the back together, I'm going to pin it down. After you are done pinning it, this is what you are going to have at this point. Now come to the hem of the sleeve here and you are going to come in by 3.5. You can do 2 inches. I just want the sleeve part to have a slit. So from that point, from that 3.5, I'm going to sew it by half of an inch. And when I get to the armhole point, I'm going to mark 1.5 we added when we are cutting it. So you are going to sew from the armhole till you get to the hem of the fabric. You are going to mark 1.5. So from this point now, you are going to take it to the sewing machine and you are going to sew it down. You will come to this other side. You are going to repeat the same thing for it. So you come in from the hem of the sleeve, come in by 3.5. So you are going to mark the half inch on the sleeve, then sew the 1.5 on the armhole. After I am done joining it, this is what I have at this point. So this is the other side and this is the opening I said we should leave. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold in the sleeve. We have rough edge there, so I'm going to fold it in. Just look what I'm doing there. So just fold it a little and you are going to double fold it so you can pin it down. After you are done pinning it, this is how you are going to take it to your sewing machine and sew it. So you are going to take it like this. So you start sewing from the hem line. So you are going to sew it close to the folding and you are going to cross this point and you continue your sewing. So you are going to take it to sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it round. I will repeat the same process for the other side. After I am done sewing it, this is what we have. As you can see, we have a neat finishing there. So this is the other side. So this is it here. The next thing to do now is to go ahead to go and cut out the band for the sleeve. So I already went ahead to cut out the two band for the two sleeve and this is what I have. So this is it now. If I open it up, as you can see, and if I open it, this is what I have there. I already fold it into two. So I have 4 inches there, and if I fold it back, I will have 2 inches. So to know the amount of the band you are going to cut out, so you fold it into two again and you are going to mark your round wrist divided by two. Mine is 4 inches, remember is 8, so I already divided it into two. So I added extra 15 to 16 inches to it. So that is what I have on the both band. After that, I'm going to notch the center of the band. Make sure you notch the center of it before you open it. So you are going to open it like this and you are going to fold it into two. So you are going to fold it and pin it together. After you are done pinning it, you are going to come to the center that you notch. You are going to mark 4 inches. You are going to mark your round wrist divided by two. Mine is 4 inches, so I'm going to mark the 4 inches at the right hand and I'm going to mark 4 inches at the left hand side. So it means the open part is going to be 8 inches. So from that point now, I'm going to sew it down. Just watch closely what I'm doing there. This is not hard. So you are going to take it and you are going to sew it down. So you are going to close this point, the open part, you are going to close it as well. So you come to the other side, you are going to start from the 4 inches as well. So you are going to sew it like this. So take it to your sewing machine. I'm sewing it by 1/4 of an inch. You can sew it by 1/2 of an inch. So when you get to the 4 inches you mark, that is when you are going to stop your sewing. So you take it round. So I'll go ahead to go and do it. So this is what I have now, and this is the opening part, the part that we did not sew, as you can see. So the next thing to do now is I'm going to turn it to the right side. After I am done turning it, this is what I have. I already turn it to the right side. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other side, then I will iron it down. So when I get to the opening part here, the part I did not sew, I'm going to fold in that 1/4 of an inch that I used to sew the rest. I'm going to fold it in like this. So you are going to fold it on the both side and you go ahead to iron it down. After I am done ironing it, this is what I have here. As you can see, the open point, that is the opening that we left earlier. So this is what I have for the both band. So you can decide to notch the center if you want, or you can decide to just mark it. Use your chalk to identify the center, which I already did. So this is the two band. So to sew the sleeve, you are going to come to the sleeve point. So you are going to come here and you are going to take it to the sewing machine and you go ahead to go and gather it to the 8 inches. You are going to gather the hem of the sleeve to the 8 inches. You do the same thing for the other side. Just go ahead to go and gather it round. So this is what I have after I am done gathering it. As you can see, this is what I have here. So the next thing to do now is to go ahead to go and fix the band to the sleeve. So to do that, you are going to open the point where we did not sew and you are going to insert the sleeve. Just make sure you take your time to do this. Just insert the sleeve to the opening point. Remember, it's 8 inches and the sleeve we already gather it to the 8 inches. So put it inside and you are going to pin it together. After you are done, you are going to take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and top stitch it. You are going to repeat the same process for the other one. This is what we have after we are done. This is the inside. As you can see, it's very neat. This is what we have for the inside and this is what we have at the outside. So if you tie it, this is how the sleeve is going to be. So you just take it and as you can see, this is what we have for the sleeve. This is the one side and this is the other sleeve. This is the other sleeve as well. The next thing to do now is to go ahead to go and fold the back. So I'm going to fold it into two like this and I'm going to go ahead to go and add stay to the point I'm going to add zipper to, because we need to shape out the back. I decided to add stay because the fabric is very light, so I just give it to have that stability. After that, I'm going to pin the both back. I'm going to pin it together like this. After I am done pinning it, I'm going to come to the shoulder line and I'm going to mark my shoulder to the waist line at the back is 14 inches. So I marked 14 inches there. From that 14 inches, I'm going to come in by half inch. After that, I'm going to take the both side and connect it like this. So I'm going to connect the up like this, just connect it like this and come down and do the same thing. So you are going to cut out the excess there. You are going to cut it out. We are doing this to avoid any bulkiness at the zipper part, the half inch you cut out is not going to affect your zipper allowance. You are still going to take your 1 inch zipper allowance on that line. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew it with a temporary stitch. I'm going to sew it down. So this is it now. I'm still going to lose it when we want to sew the zipper. So now I need to measure what I have on the upper part so we can cut out the gathers. So I already went ahead to turn it to the right side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place my tape at the shoulder line, then you take it down. So if you want to take the measurement for the down part, you are not going to take the measurement at the V point, you are taking it at the side, not the center. So here, this is what I have. I have 20 inches there. I did not calculate the half inch I'm going to join it, so I have 20 inches. So if I remove the 20 inches from the full length of the gown, I will have 15 inches left. So I'm going to cut out 15 inches in length for the gathers. Now, to know the amount of wideness you are going to cut out for the gathers, you are going to take this round, whatever you have on this point is where you are going to be multiplying by 2 or 3, depends on how full you want your gown to be. But what I will be doing is I'm going to cut out the leftover fabric I have. That is what I'm going to be using. So I already cut out a fabric here. This is the first step of the gathers. For the longer one, I have 16 and a half. Remember, I need 15 inches. I added extra 1.5 inch to it because I'm going to fold the hemline and I need half inch to join the down part to the upper part. So this is what I have here. I went ahead to cut out the same length because I have enough fabric, and this fabric is measuring 16 and a half also. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to join the both. I'm going to join it together to have a very long fabric. So I'm going to join it together like this. Just place the right side facing each other. It doesn't matter when I'm pleating it, you are not going to be seeing any joining at that point. So you are going to put it together like this and take it to your sewing machine and sew it together. So this is the first step, which is the longer one. So this is the longer step here, and here I have 12.5 inch. So this is what I have there. So I went ahead to cut out 2 pieces for the shorter one as well because I want my gathers to be very full, and my fabric is already pieces, so I need to manage it. So I'm going to place it on each other like this, and I'm going to go ahead to go and join it together to have a longer piece. So just take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it together. Don't forget, it doesn't matter if you have a joining pieces. So after I am done joining the both together, I went ahead to fold the hemline by 1 inch, and I joined the both of the step. I join it together at the upper part. So this is what I have. As you can see, I just place it on each other and I went ahead to go and sew it down. I went ahead to go and take the length of the measurements I have of the camera. So after measuring everything, I have 4.5 yard altogether. So for the shorter one, I have 4.5, and for the longer one, I have 4.5. So I went ahead to join it together. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to fold it into two. After folding it into two, I'm going to notch the center. So you notch the center of the long fabric that you want to gather around. Here, this is the notch. As you can see, this is the notch. So I'm going to set it aside and bring the upper part. This is the upper part that we are going to be attaching the gathers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open it up like this, and I'm going to notch the front. We're going to notch the center of the front. Remember, the joining part is the center for the back, so you already know that is where it is. So I've already notched the center front like this. So this is what I have. I'll go ahead to go and open it. So I already opened it. I already removed the stitch at the back. So this is how you are going to attach it. You are going to take the notch on the center front and the notch on the gathers. You are going to place it on each other like this, and you are going to pin it down. After you are done pinning the center together, so you are going to take it and go ahead to go and pleat it. Just do a little pleat, very tiny pleat. So just go ahead to go and gather it around the other side. You are going to gather it around, you exhaust the fabric, then you come to the other side and you are going to do the same thing for this other side as well. So just take very tiny pleats. Make sure your gathers or your pleat is not very big. So just go ahead to go and do it like this. So this is it after I am done. As you can see, the pleat is very tiny. So this is what I have. The next thing to do now is to go ahead to go and finish up the neckline and attach the zipper at the back. So this is what I'll be using to finish up the neckline. This is a bias. If you are sewing your own, please get a matching bias. I don't have a matching bias, so that is why I'm using this. I'm sure we all know how to fix a bias. So this is how the bias comes. So they fold it like this. So you are going to open up one side and sew it at the right side. Then you are going to fold it inside at the wrong side when you are done sewing it. So I'll go ahead to go and do that and come back to show you what we are going to do next. This is it after I am done with the bias. As you can see, the bias is inside, not outside. You will not even notice. So this is what we have. The next thing to do now is to go ahead to go and fold the back. So I'm going to fold it into two because we need to fix our zipper. Before you fix your zipper, make sure you already finish up the neckline. So I'm going to attach the joining parts at the gather side. Make sure they aligns very well. So I'm going to pin it down, pin everything down. After I am done pinning it, so I'm going to bring my zipper now. So this is the zipper I want to use. So I'll just place the zipper at the back to know how wide I want my zipper to be. So if I get to the point I want my zipper to start from, so I'm going to mark that point. So I'm going to sew from this point now. I'm going to sew it till I get to the hem line. So when you are done sewing it down, so this part is where you are going, the part that is open is where you are going to be attaching your zipper. So I'll go ahead to go and do all these things and come back to show you what you are going to do. So this is it after I am done. As you can see, the zipper and the gathers, they all came out so beautiful. So the next thing to do now is to attach the rope at the front. This is optional, just depends on what you want. So I already went ahead to cut out my rope, and the length of the rope is 41 inches. Yes, 41 inches. So you can make your own longer. So I'm going to divide the rope into two, then locate the center on the neckline. So I'm going to mark the center of the neckline. This is it here. So this is where I'll be attaching the rope. So you are going to locate the center of the rope and you are going to place that center at the mark you already made on the neckline. So this is it here. So you are going to place it like this and you are going to pin it together and you go ahead to go and sew it. Just make sure you top stitch like 3 times. For the rope, I just went ahead to cut out a 1.5 inch fabric. That's the wideness, and the length is 41 inches. Then I fold it at the both sides. So this is it after you are done. This is how the neckline is going to be. So you are going to tie it up like this. So tie it up, and I'll go ahead to go and show you the final look. Here, this is the final look. If you have watched this video to this point, please don't forget to subscribe, help me like this video and drop your comments under the comment section. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.